Hi, it's John from North Star Nursery, Garden and Home, your coastal gardener. Well, let me tell you, flowering quince are off the charts lately. And we actually have vendors we can get them from now. Not in a huge diversity, but what's available is really exciting. So flowering quince are those really great shrubs you see in really old gardens, in front of old houses. It's very gnarly looking and first of all, they are very thorny. So you have to be careful when you're handling them. But they bloom traditionally on bare wood, which is kind of this, I don't know, it screams the hope of spring, which is really great. They have done some hybridizing in the last few years, and we have a collection from the success of that hybridization that is called Double Take. And Double Take is because it is a double flower. Who thought that you could get better than a single flower? They did. And so these are Double Take. So a lot of these guys, I'm just checking here to make sure. So not as big. That's what I figured. So the traditional regular flowering quince can get 6 or so feet high and wide. So you'd really want to give it some space. These guys are only going to top out about 3 to 4 feet max. So it's kind of nice if you're trying to keep something in a smaller garden as opposed to a huge yard. The 2 varieties that I have that are not part of the Double Take series, one of them is called Cameo. You can kind of see, it looks like this might have been the parentage for the Double Take, what is it called? Double Take Peach. Not sure if you can kind of see. It's pretty darn similar. This has a little deeper tone, but the peach color on this, just FYI, for those of you that love this peach one, there are only 2 left. So if you want to call the nursery and get it, you should do so. This is Double Take White, or I should say Eternal White. For those of you that really love the green and white kind of vibe that's happening a lot in plants, this one's a gorgeous one. Also, just basic Double Take Scarlet. One of the things you might notice as I'm holding these up is that most of the flowers are lower in the plant structure. The reason is that flowering quince bloom off of old wood, 2nd year, 3rd year, and so on and so forth. So you want to be really careful about pruning, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. This is Double Take Orange, And just a really nice, if you like orange, this is a really great one. Okay, pruning and fertilization. So pruning, for the most part, you're just going to do it for shape. If you wanted to make a specimen out of any of these plants, you certainly could. But what you would have to do is, especially on something like this guy, you can see there's all these branches coming out. And so what I would do is go through and selectively choose the branches that you want to keep and remove the others, and then start pruning accordingly to how you want it to shape. If you want it to go upward and get taller, you would prune to leaf nodes where it's pointing up. If you wanted it to be in a pot and you wanted a weeping effect, you would prune to branches that are pointing downward. But again, you don't want to do a lot of pruning because they're going to bloom off of that old wood. If you need to do pruning, you do it after they're done blooming. So again, that's early spring. So don't get seduced and start pruning really heavily on these guys in the fall, because you're doing yourself a disservice. As far as fertilization, they're acid loving. So they love our natural environment here on the coast. When planting, of course, we suggest the Sure Start. On a plant about this size, I would use 1 cup to 2 cups mixed into the base of the hole. If you're doing it in a container and you're trying to keep it acidic, this would be what you would plant it with and or fertilize with later on, because you do want to fertilize twice a year. So this is the azalea camellia food. If you're a water-soluble kind of person, this is the maxi acid. This will be used pretty much from after their bloom all the way until they go dormant once a month. 2 tablespoons into 2 gallons of water. Let's see. I think that really kind of might be it. They're a great shrub. We do have quite a few in stock right now. So if you're looking for flowering quince, you should come and visit us. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you at the nursery.